Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. And of course, it's time for another update. It's Saturday. It was a quiet news day. I thought we'd be, there'd be nothing really to discuss. So I did a bit of twitching earlier on. Please follow me on Twitch as well, by the way, Leeds Career Mode and loads of other things as well. The link's in the description to that if you want to do that, all right? There's also the Fantasy Premier League that we've set up, link in the description. Just keep it locked on the Just Joe Football Show across a number of platforms. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a good weekend. I hope you're enjoying the sun, whatever you're doing. The neighbours are out playing the music and that, playing the tunes whilst I've been watching the tennis. I hope you're enjoying yourself as well. But I've had to come away from the tennis because, of course, we've had some breaking news, really, in the last 10 to 15 minutes, which confirms that Raphinha, as I've said a number of times, won't be at Leeds United, for the foreseeable future. We know that he's holding out for a move to Barcelona. There was a lot of talk that, he turned down Chelsea and therefore he might stay at Leeds United. We discussed it ourselves on a number of separate videos. But it's confirmed in effect that Raphinha is going to be leaving Leeds United in this window. And the reason that's being confirmed, of course, is because the team are due to fly out to Australia. The team were due to fly out tomorrow, Sunday, I think, but I've seen Mark Jackson put a picture on that they're on the plane already, so they're already gone. Leeds United have released the list of players that have made the plane. Yeah, it's a bit like when you get called up to the World Cup, in it. Are you on the plane, etc. Right? So what we'll do first of all is I'll show you that list, and then we'll have a little bit of a chat about it, because we'll have a chat about Raphinha. We'll also have a chat about a left-back crisis and some more absentees that are on that list as well, and what that means for them in terms of their Leeds United future. All right. So what I'm going to do first of all is just share that list with you. The list is available on the Leeds United official website. But I will just quickly share that with you now so you can get a look at that. So if you just bear with us one sec while I just pop me down here. I've got the wrong thumbnail behind me, so you can ignore that as well. But yeah, this is on the Leeds United official website. So it says Australia squad list confirmed. And you'll see on here, so goalkeepers, Harry Christie, Christopher Clarkson and Ilya Melier. Liam Cooper, Leif Davis, Cody Drame, Leo Hjelde, Robin Koch, Rasmus Christensen, Diego Llorente, and Pascal Strauch. Of course, you'll notice there is no Ferber or Carlos. There is no Firpo on the plane. Apparently, Firpo's picked up a knock. It didn't look like he picked up a knock. He obviously has, though. I mean, he's not going anywhere. But my main concern is what we're going to do at left back now. In terms of midfield, we have Brendan Aronson, Tyler Adams, Adam Forshaw, Archie Gray, which is huge, the fact that he makes the plane, Darko JB as well, Matthias Klick, Mark Rocker, and then forwards we have Paddy Bamford, Joe Gelhardt, Sam Greenwood, Jack Harrison, Dan James, Rodrigo, Sinistera, and Somerville. The remainder of the squad not travelling to Australia will continue their pre-season preparations at Four Parch. So just to run through again, there's your three goalkeepers: Harry Christie, Clarkson, Melier, Cooper, Leif Davis, Drame, Hjelde, Koch, Christensen, Llorente, Strauch. So your only really recognised left back is Leif Davis. Yeah. So that's something worth what we're going to chat about. And I want to get your opinions on that as well. Please do like the video as well if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel if you want to get involved in the chat. Your midfielders, Aronson, Adams, Forshaw, Gray, JB, Klick, and Rocker. And, of course, forwards, Bamford, Gelhardt, Greenwood, Harrison, James, Rodrigo, Sinistera, and Somerville. Now, just to give you some more meat on the bones about Raphinha, it's coming out from Phil Hay. Phil Hay's done an article. Your man Fabrizio Romano's tweeting it. It's come out now that he's been left out of the Leeds United squad for the tour to Australia so that he can get his move. Where that'll be, it's going to either be Chelsea or Barca. We know that. He's not adverse to the idea of moving to Chelsea. There was a lot of fake news, if you like, saying that he turned down Chelsea and was going to stay at Leeds United if he weren't going to Barca. Well, we know that to be incorrect now. He's staying at Four Parch and training in England so that he can get that move that he desires. He will not stay at Leeds United beyond this window. So there are a big few days ahead concerning his future. And of course, concerning Leeds United and their search for a striker. Because as soon as Raphinha exits, I believe we'll then get a striker. We'll then probably go to Club Bruges and say, listen, are we getting moving with CDK? If not, we're gonna go elsewhere. That's why maybe we're still waiting around for CDK and the issue with AC Milan, because we haven't we ain't ready to pay that up yet because we've still got Raphinha in charge. At the club. Barcelona, obviously, we know that they want him. They've still not had a bid accepted. There was talk about installments and stuff. That was a while ago. That was being spoken about. But the Raphinha situation, there was talk that they'd upped their initial base figure, but there's still add-ons on top of that. So although they've been talking with Leeds United, there's still nothing firm. And why should we accept a lower base figure when you have Chelsea there who say there's 60 million for your troubles, So unless you're going to pay us 60 million, Barca, or at least get close to it. I've seen reports this morning of 55 million euros down payment. That's 47 million quid. That don't cut the grade, you know what I mean? That don't cut the grass. That's not going to happen. And that's why Leeds United have still not confirmed a deal with Barcelona at this moment in time. They have improved their verbal bid. That's what's being reported. But again, it's still not enough. And we know that 10 days ago, Chelsea had a bid accepted. So they're still waiting on this. They've signed Sterling. That's soon to be announced. Will it get to a stage where they move on to another target? That's what we don't want, because are then we forced into accepting a derisory offer from Barcelona? That's not the situation we want to get ourselves into. Big shout out, Sticky, there for the super sticker as well. Thank you so much for your support. So it's interesting, that he's been left. I guess it's not interesting. I assume we all would have, believed that was going to happen. But the fact that Jesse said on Thursday after the game against Blackpool that they were undecided on whether or not he was going to make the plane. We hear from some very reputable journalists that say he's not going to be at Leeds regardless. So that just proves that fact now that he's not on the plane. He's staying at Thorpe Arch. Everything's fine, though. Like, I don't think there's any sort of breakdown between the player and the club. I think Raphinha, for me personally, has acted amicably in this situation. He gave his all up until the final whistle against Brentford, and he hasn't, kicked up a fuss. He hasn't been speaking to press. He hasn't been doing all sorts of madness. He's just been going about his business. He wants to move. We want the move in terms of bringing in the money and buying the players that we want, and being able to finance that. So we'll have to wait and see. And Perfect Lehman makes a good point. What if they go bust and they don't end up paying? This is the mad thing. Like Barcelona, I'm not saying they'll go bust by any stretch of the imagination, but they still owe Frankie de Jong £17 million. They owe Gerard Piqué wads and wads of cash. So if they can't play their own players or they can't pay their own servants, why are they going to, rush to pay Leeds United X amount? We don't want to get embroiled in another court case over a transfer fee similar to what we find ourselves in with, JKA, for example. So for me, the base figure they need to be paying up front needs to be close to that Chelsea, figure of 60 million. It needs to be 50. It needs to be 55. For me, I'd say we just want 60, but Leeds United may feel like they're in a situation where they have to go, look, they're going to pay us 50. We'll chase them for the rest. I know that's not ideal, but that's is it acceptable? Maybe not, but it's getting closer to what you want, isn't it? It's getting closer to what you want. But, it's confirmed there that he's not part of the preseason tour. He's not getting the flight to Australia. So, there is no chance of him being at Leeds United next season, which I know some believe they might be, but I always felt that could be the case. Now, I also chatted, putting the title about a left-back crisis. Do we have a left-back crisis at Leeds United? Well, we know with Firpo, we all wanted an additional left-back. We all said that. Even with Firpo here, we all wanted an additional left-back. Now, Firpo's not going on the tour. Not on the tour. Now, apparently, he's picked up a knock. and the club say it's not worth risking him. Okay, so for me, it's worse than a knock. I don't, because how many games do we play over in Australia? Four, right? Brisbane Raw. No, three. Sorry, Brisbane Raw, Villa, and Palace. Right. So there's 3 games. So this knock is keeping him out for 3 games or a week or 2, however long over there. So it's not ideal. And what does that leave us with? That leaves us with one fully recognised left back at the football club in Leif Davis, who we know Leeds United are touting out. That's common knowledge. Whether or not he actually makes the move and Leeds United feel they have to keep him around because we have no other options. You know, Jesse say he likes the lad, what he's doing in training and that, but does it translate to him being a Premier League left back? Not for me personally. We know that Ipswich put in an offer for him at £1 million. The fact that he's gone on the plane may be more a case of, well, we need a left back because Junior's not there. If Junior was there, would he have gone? I don't know. Adam Pope's been asked the question, you know, we really, really need another left back. This was by Tone on Twitter, and he said, look, I feel sorry for Firpo, but we can't rely on him. There's people in the comments saying, you know, he's made of biscuits, for example. You know, there's issues with him, not only just from an injury standpoint, but also from a suspension standpoint as well. We've seen defensively he can get himself into sticky situations. But Adam Pope was asked the question, and like I've said to you throughout, whether I agree or disagree with it, but we all thought the club's stance was they're not getting one. And Adam Pope's come out and said clubs say they are going with what they have got in that position. They are happy with their choices at left back. Now, there are reasons why, you know, the guys at Leeds Lobby did a fantastic video earlier on about the double pivot and how that works, etc. But even if we just look at the right back position, we're stacked with options there. Left back, we have one really. If Leif Davis was to leave, you know, we have Firpo. Is it negligent from the football club to not sign a left back at this point if Junior is injured? Yes, it's just a knock, but what does that do? Like, as soon as the list was put out, the whole fan base was, where's Firpo? Where's Firpo? Where's Firpo? Panic stations. Much like myself with Bamford and a lot of other fans, Bamford didn't make the game against Blackpool. It's like, he's gone again. He's broken down again. We need another striker. We need 2. Do you know what I mean? So straight away that shows. So is it, if we were to go into the season with just Firpo, is it negligent? Now, of course, the club feel that they have enough options there. That's why I, again, will reiterate the point. But again, he's not on the plane, I don't think. Let me just check that list again. 1 second. No, Leo Hjelde is on the plane. So, 1 sec. Leo Hjelde came out in Norwegian press, remember, if you remember the conversation, and said that Jesse told him we're not signing another left back. He sees himself as a left back or would like to at least compete for that position. We know Strout can play there as well. Okay, it's not ideal, but you know, Leo has played there in previous teams. I think he played there for a little bit with Celtic. Could Cody go across? Could Rasmus potentially? I'm not too sure, but the fact that Firpo's injured is a worry because straight away that position looks even more threadbare than it did already. Do you see what I'm saying? And Jamie Lowe says, like, sick of playing centre-backs as left-backs. But Leo has played left-back, you know. If you were to ask him the question, he might say he's a left-back. You don't know. And we know that Jesse's no problem in playing centre-backs. I mean, he played Raphinha at right wing-back, let's be honest. But he also played Cochlear against Brentford, so we know that he's happy to play centre-backs in them positions. But if we look at how we played against Blackpool and the reliance on the full-backs to play the width, you know, and especially when you've seen a number of occasions like that lovely move in that first half where Rocker played it out to Firpo, crossed it in, and it was put in the back of the net. It was offside, but you can see there's going to be a bit of a reliance on the fullbacks there to maybe create assists and create for us. So could Leo do that? Could Strout do that like Firpo does? Potentially not, you know. So I think it's a bit of an issue for me personally. The fact that Firpo's broke already. okay, it might only be a knock and they're leaving him at home as a precaution, but it seems if it's just a knock, why wouldn't you take him? He'd get over that by the time. I don't know. Listen, I'm not a physiotherapist or anything like that. I'm not a doctor, but it just seems a bit strange. It does, it does seem a bit strange. So yeah, I think it's a worry. It's a worry as a Leeds United fan. Other news obviously coming out. Jamie Shackleton isn't on the list. So it looks like he's going to get that move to Millwall. I know Reading were interested as well, but I think Millwall seems to be the destination at this point. Big shout out Creswell, by the way. Millwall fans have fallen in love with him. He actually scored on his debut today as well against Crystal Palace in a pre-season friendly. I've seen a clip of him putting someone in the bin as well. So yeah, Jamie Shackleton looks like he's going out on loan. I'm really, really disappointed for Jamie Shackleton. Because it's quite sad for him, because obviously I'd have loved him to carve out a career at Leeds United, Leeds lad, gets it, etc. But I just don't think at this stage in his career he's of the required quality to stake a claim in the first team. So he'll go out to Millwall along with Creswell, and hopefully they'll do really well. Luke Ayling missing off the list as well, but he is remaining behind to continue his recovery. The rest of the 6 signings that we brought in will make the trip. Obviously, I'll be doing a watch along on the 14th of that first game against Brisbane Roar. If you want to join me for that, I don't know if it's the one that's at like mad o'clock. Let's just have a look, but and see what's being said. You can actually get a clip of Creswell scoring the Millwall goal, which is decent to see. Let's have a look. Yeah, club say, Adam Pope just confirming that club say they are happy to go with what they've got in the left-back position. I'm just seeing if there is any more news out there. Jack Clark as well. Jack Clark has made a permanent move to Sunderland. Yeah, Square Ball just saying, gosh, let's hope left-back doesn't prove to be a problem position for us. Nothing has happened in the past to suggest it might be. This is the thing, right? Like, we knew as a fan base that centre midfield for Leeds United over the last 9 windows, I think it was 9 windows ago that Leeds United bought Adam Forshaw, right, from Middlesbrough. We all knew that we had a shortage there. The club knew they had a shortage there because they tried to sign Cuisance, for example, and it didn't go through. If he weren't broken, they'd have signed him. So they knew there was a shortage there. So we could all see it. They didn't doctor it. Guess what? Last season, midfield, shocking. Injuries everywhere, shocking. I think the frustrating thing as a Leeds United fan is we can see the left-back has been a bit of an issue. Now, of course, if we go into the season and he plays Jack Harrison there, Leo smashes it, then of course it looks okay. But we've seen before, when you don't give the squad the tools that it needs, it can fall apart, right? And Junior Firpo, he's up. Look, for me, right, regardless of what we think of Leaf, he couldn't get in the Bournemouth side. He couldn't get in the Bournemouth side. They've been promoted. They had an option to buy, and they've not bought him. Yeah? Why? Well, they obviously don't think he's of the required quality, or there's something else, right? But Leeds United are willing to go with him, maybe as a squad player. Now, if he's third choice behind a Leo, I understand it, but we just don't know, do we? I guess we'll find out more in the coming days. With Firpo not on the plane, does that mean Leo will start at left wing back? Does it mean Jack Harrison might start at left wing back? Because if I remember, on Thursday, we didn't have the rest of the internationals available. So you didn't have like Dan James, for example. So if he goes with a 4-2-3-1, could he play Jack Harrison at left wing back and have Dan James on the right side and Sinisterra on the left side? We just don't know. Could Rodrigo got there? Again, we just don't know, do we? But I do think from the outside looking in without knowing that information, you would say it's negligent to not buy a left back at this stage. Because we're short anyway. And then he's got injured straight away. Like straight away. He came off at half-time. He didn't look like he was carrying a knock at the time. He didn't go down. But obviously, the facts are he's now picked up and he only played 45 minutes. Let's just reiterate that as well. He only played 45 minutes. You know what I mean? So is there well, we know there's an issue with him injuries because he's been injured a lot. And not only that, his suspensions. Let's not forget he missed 2 years of football whilst at Barca. Like near enough 2 years of football. So there's clearly an issue though. Sorry. You know me, I tend to side with the club in most situations. I do. I try to remain positive and I try to see it from their point of view. And I've said that with the left-back situation. I know that other content creators, I even speak to them off air and they're not happy that we're not doing it. But I can be like, nah, it's okay. It's okay, don't worry. They're happy with it. We have to go with it kind of vibe. But even me at this point saying, yeah, it's negligent, innit, if you don't buy a left-back. Because we've seen what happened when we didn't buy a midfielder. We've seen what happened when we didn't replace Bamford, when we knew he were injured and the club were telling us he'll be fine. And Jesse rushed him back and then he got injured and we never seen him again. Bamford's a worry as well, let's be honest. Because he played a behind-closed-doors game against Stoke and he's out. Now, thankfully, Bamford's on the plane and the club told us he was never going to play the Blackpool game, which I find hard to believe. But let's see if he starts against Brisbane Roar. I agree with you. Leeds lobby, Harrison will do a job there. But does Harrison want to play there? Does Harrison want to play there? Does he want to be a left wing back? That's something you have to ask yourself. Will he be happy doing that? Because Jack Harrison's got suitors now as well. You know, we need to get him on a new deal if we're not going to sell him for sure. And I agree with you, Cosmic Moth. Charlie Taylor's available. Not even that. We know someone we've looked at in the past, and you don't have to sign him, but I'm just saying, Tagliafico, for example, is available at a cut-down price of like 5 million. There are other big clubs in for him, but we've looked at him in the past. So for me, that's like, oh, 5 million euros. Yeah, we'll take him. But it's the fact that we don't even look at it. And then we've seen them links, which again, I didn't buy because the club's rhetoric, the club's narrative has always been we're not getting a left-back. We've heard that from people connected to the club. We then heard it from the third horse's mouth, really, because Jesse told Leo and Leo told the journalist and the journalist reported it over in Norway. They said, we're not getting a left-back. So yeah, I get that's something that will just keep going on and saying, oh, you know, we need a left-back, we need a left-back. But I think this is why I tend not to talk about it too much, is because, like, we're not getting one. Do you know what I mean? So even now, with Firpo picking up a knock, and it might be nothing, but I just still find it strange that he ain't got on the plane. Even now, the club are happy. Maybe it'll change. Maybe their opinions will change. Maybe Leaf won't impress. He has done up to this point clearly, but they're still looking to move him out, so he can't have done that well. That's my point. It's like he's another that I would, at this point, say, gone. Harmony says, we do not need a left-back. I disagree. We could do with one, really. But we have to accept that the fact we will. Yeah, Sticky, I do read messages. Sorry, if it's your first time coming here, Sticky, or you've only just found the channel, what I tend to do is highlight the super chats. My apologies, I should have addressed it. I normally do. When your super chats come in, I star them. I will get to them. It's just while I'm on a bit of a rant, because I do chat at times, I just don't want to stop mid-flow. I will get to your chats, yeah? Sticky does say, I love this channel now, only just sub, but I love your passion. Don't agree with some of what you say, but hey, and that's fine, right? Sticky, it's a difference of opinion. Football's a difference of opinion, right? And we're all entitled to it. As long as there's no hate, that's it. I welcome different opinions. People will tell you that, you know. We have people on the watch-alongs or people on my videos that when we've done previews, etc., you know, Paco Mac, you know, there's others. What's he called? Big Richard, but we call him Big Dick because he comes on and just disagrees with everything I say, but it's all in jest, right? Everyone is entitled to their opinions, right? But yeah, I will get to them. Thank you so much for your super chats, as I say. Smudge as well, as always, put one in saying, in the past, we had no decent CM. We have corrected that. Excited by the double. put my teeth in. Excited about the double pivot setup. Yeah, me too. Me too. I thought Rocker was really, really good against Blackpool. But this is the thing, though, Smudge. We knew we needed centre midfielders. They've now corrected it. You can look at it now and say we need a left back. So we need to correct it before it becomes an issue. Especially now that the one that we've got, who they're happy to go with, and I'm okay with it. He played well against Blackpool. I know it's only one game, but if that's a look into what he'll give us for the season in that role under Jesse, then okay, he can do a job. But if he breaks down, then who do we turn to? That's the thing. Smudge says, morning, Joe. Smudge here. There is no panic about a left back unless the predicted double pivot does not work out. We have ample cover for wing backs. Fair enough. You've been watching the Leeds lobby video. Jason R says, thinking Harrison will be used as a left wing back opposite Rasmus on the right and will be using a double pivot in the midfield for cover. Yeah. And look, there's a lot of people that have said about Jack Harrison being a left wing back. I know that City looked at him as a left wing back for a period of time. Tottenham looked at him in January as a left wing back in that Conte system. So it's clearly other managers see that in him. So it wouldn't surprise me if Jesse does. But we've not seen it yet at Leeds, you know? So let's see. This is the acid test, isn't it? Like when we play Brisbane Raw, sorry. When we play Brisbane Raw on the 14th, we'll see because Firpo's not available. So then we'll see. No, Dallas won't be fit. Dallas won't be fit for a while. Last time he's still got a boot on, I think. He's still got a boot on. So we've got 3 games in Oz. Yeah, so we'll get an idea, won't we? Obviously, we played Brisbane Raw. We've then got Villa and then we've got Palace. And then the last pre-season friendly is at Ellen Road against Cagliari. So the Raphinha situation is drawing to a conclusion. I think that's something we have to be positive about. It's doing everyone's head in. I understand that because it's doing my head in as well. But he's not made the flight to Australia. For those that are coming in late, Stephen, he's not on the plane to Australia. The club have confirmed that he's staying at Thorpe Arch, training in England while they sort out his future. Sorry. Smudge with the super chat says, no, I haven't. What's this Leeds Lobby you speak of? Leeds Lobby is a new channel. He follows my channel, so please head over and give them a follow, give them a subscribe. We're all in this together, etc. He did a good video this morning just explaining how the double pivot will work and why Leeds United are not in the hunt for a left back. But when your left back's injured or your left wing back causes issues. But we will wait and see. But yeah, the big news, of course, is Raphinha is not in Leeds' pre-season party to Australia. We'll know, won't we, in the next week what's going to happen with him. He's going to stay at Thorpe Arch, stay in England, stay fit. Obviously, he needs to because he'll be playing football next season. It won't be at Ellen Road, but he'll be playing somewhere. I said yesterday on the video, I spoke to Oscar on the Premier League one. We spoke on the one with James that, Ben Jacobs, who's been pretty well connected to it, said that, he'll not stay at Leeds beyond this window. There was a lot of fake reports, if you like, that he turned down Chelsea and was staying at Leeds United. That's not going to happen. Chelsea have had a bid accepted 10 days ago. We need to wait for that to come to an end. In terms of, are they going to look? It might get to a situation where Chelsea said, you know what, we're not going to bother. The money's there. We're not going to bother. We'll go to Barca. He can go to Barca, and then we have to accept a lesser bid. Okay, the deal might eventually raise up to 60 to 65. I doubt it with it being Barcelona, but their down payment, if you like, or their base payment that they'll be willing to give us will be nowhere near to where Chelsea are. Chelsea are willing to give us 60 million, and then I think 5 million on add-ons, around that anyway. Barcelona apparently have improved their verbal bid, but again, nothing's been accepted from the Leeds United end. So we'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see what's going on with this. Like I say, it'll probably develop. It's the weekend. That's why I didn't think I'd be on YouTube, if I'm honest. I thought, it's the weekend. It'll probably be a quiet one. But like I say, this has come out. So, Yeah. We will know anyway this coming week what's happening with Raphinha, and we have our pre-season games to focus on as well, right? We had some great numbers the other day doing that. Make sure you join me for the game on the 14th of July. Although I think some of you might be in bed because I swear it's proper early. What time does it kick off? Let me have a look. When do they kick off? What time does it kick off? Let me just check the Leeds United app. It kicks off mad time, I swear. Fixtures, friendlies. 4 days, 18 hours. That doesn't tell me a kick-off time. No, it's the Villa game. It's the Villa game that kicks off at 5:35 a.m. So if you can join me for the Villa game, do that. Yeah. That's 5:35 against Villa. So the Brisbane Raw is 4 days and 18 hours. So what's 18 hours from now? Someone do the math. 18 hours from now is what? What's 18 hours from now, peeps? Get it in the chat. Maths, you know, if you watch me regularly, maths ain't my strong point. Big up Smudge, by the way. He says, another good rant, Joe, off to do some gardening now. Oh, by the way, Barca are really pissing me off. I'm the same, bro. Can't stand them. Can't stand them. So it's 10 a.m. Okay, so 18 hours from now is 10 a.m., yeah? Or 10 p.m.? 10 a.m. It won't be 10 p.m., will it? It'll be 10 a.m. Yeah, 10 a.m. in 4 days. So that'll be Thursday? No, what am I on about? Wow. What are you on about, Joe? Please, come on now. I know you're tired, son, but yeah. No, it is. It's Thursday. Thursday at 10 a.m. So I'll be doing a watch-along for that game on Thursday at 10 a.m. as Leeds United take on Brisbane Raw. Then Villa at 5:35, but I'll do it. It is what it is. And then we'll go Crystal Palace after that. But it's going to be interesting to see how that left-back spot is going to look as well. And, of course, at least we know in the next couple of days, hopefully by the end of Friday, Raphinha won't be a Leeds United player. Of course, I'd love him to stay here, but we need the saga to end, yeah? Because the frustrating thing is Leeds would have wanted a striker in, ideally, by this point, because we're now away. In effect, the striker now is only going to get to play one game, and that's going to be Cagliari at home the week before the season starts. So Barcelona have created a situation which has put Leeds on the back burner. You know what I mean? Because we have 3 games in Oz. No strikers signing them and flying out to Oz, are there? Do you know what I mean? So the striker's going to miss the Brisbane Raw game, the Villa game, and the Palace game. That means the striker is only going to have the 31st of July Cagliari. And at that point, they might not even be well-versed in the system, might not even start, right? Do you know what I mean? So that's a frustrating thing as well, isn't it? If we do manage to get Charles de Ketelaere, it doesn't mean he's going to be ready for the season. You're probably going to be looking at Bam. This is the worrying thing, actually. When you think about it, let's say Bamford breaks down, which is a big possibility, right? I'm just thinking about it now. This is the mad thing, right? We can't let this happen because it's like I've just had, it was at this moment Joe realised he fucked up. Because let's say, for example, against Cagliari, and I know it's, doom and gloom kind of vibe, but what if Bamford gets injured? Yeah. Firpo's injured. We start the season, okay, we have a good double pivot. Yeah. We've got Rasmus at right back, but we're still lacking because we don't have a proper left back. And then we don't have a striker. And you're then relying on Joffy. And please don't tell me we're going to start that first game in the season after having a summer against Wolverhampton Wanderers with Dan James up top. I'm sorry, I like Dan James. I do think we paid over the odds for him now. But if Bamford's not right, who's your striker? Do you see what I'm saying? And that's Barca's fault as well, but also the clubs. The clubs could, I guess Leeds United could sort it and say, look, when Raf's gone, you'll get your money. So I'm sure they can sort it, but yeah, we're probably going to end in a situation. Oh, God, imagine. I can't deal with that. No Bamford and no left back come start of season. It's something yeah, Ben, you say Rodrigo is a 9, bro. Not the Rodrigo I've seen. You know, let's not say we want Rodrigo starting up top. Do you want Rodrigo starting up top, Ben? I don't want. I don't know. I don't even know where I want Rodrigo in the squad. To be fair, I don't think he's shown us he never gets goals anyway. Do you know what I mean? Yes, there is Joffrey. I understand that, Toby and Phil, them that are mentioning it, but we've not come on from next season though. Then have we? We shouldn't be relying on him. We shouldn't be putting so much onus on him. Do you know what I mean? We shouldn't be doing that at his age, you know, and expecting him to lead the line. Now, that this is all if buts and maybes. This is all hypotheticals. But when you think about what I'm just sat pondering it, thinking, because I've not really thought about it, but when you look at it now, they're on the plane, they're in Australia. If we do get a striker, the only game they're going to get is Cagliari. And if Bamford's injured as well, let's say, for example, you might be starting with a striker that's not even ready. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of different permutations. I'm sure we will go through it. I've troubled you enough. Listen, thank you. There's your latest update. Anyway, Raphinha is leaving. He's not on the plane towards neither Jamie Shackleton. He looks like he'll be rocking up at Millwall with Creswell. Luke Ayling staying at home to continue his development. Firpo's injured. Leeds United still don't want a left back. Make it make sense. We will have to wait and see. But listen, thanks as always for watching the channel. Thank you all so much for your super chats as well. Big up Sticky for that one as well. Like the video on the way out. Keep your notifications on because, as I say, I may come back live depending on if we get any more news. I will just check my notifications one last time before I do because, like I say, things move quickly. No notifications on there. No worries, Lucas. No worries at all. Thank you so much then, and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And I'll probably see you tomorrow if anything else happens, because I do expect this Raphinha one now to move quickly. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled on the channel, notifications on, and I'll speak to you all in a bit. Peace out.